Awesome for tuning in, guys. Today I'm going to look at a smartwatch, GOKOO Smartwatch. They just brought out a new model, and as you may know from my other videos, these smartwatches are waterproof. I think I have done a fitness tracker, a GOKOO smartwatch, and it's now my third smartwatch review. So I'm very excited to bring you another smartwatch review. I think I'm going to do more and more over time. I picked the black version. Obviously, there you have different models that you can select if you may want other colors. And here on the back, you can see IP67 water rating. I did a water test last time around, so I'm going to do this with the new model as well. Maybe spray over a little bit water or put it in the water. Last time the watch performed pretty well. And we're also going to download the app via the QR code. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what options you can select. Obviously, these smartwatches, you need a smartphone for those. I remember in the past, I think the first fitness tracker that I had many years ago, you couldn't pair them with your smartphone. You had just a small docking station via USB. So the technology keeps changing. And if you're familiar with my videos, right now you're watching the introductory part. Next up, I'm going to do an unboxing, show you a few close-up shots of the smartwatch, show you the charging process of the smartwatch. Sometimes when you charge those devices, one manufacturer may have a clip mechanism. I think GOKOO always has this magnetic latch mechanism. So that's kind of interesting to see. And then I'm also going to show you how to download the app and what settings you can pick in the app. For example, clock faces, that's always interesting to see for me. What design do the clock faces have? What information is displayed? And also some viewers, I think, ask about some functions that the smartwatch can have. And I'm also going to give you some examples of those as well. And I make some field testing, and in part 4, like usual, the summary and conclusion. Guys, I'm excited you're here. Why don't we just get rolling? Very well. Right now we're going to have a closer look and do a quick unboxing of the GOKOO smartwatch in black. Obviously, there are different colors. And the first thing you notice, please always make sure if you have an electronic device that has a battery in it, charge it before you use it first. That's a good practice, good for the battery in here. So let's quickly take the components out. Very simple but nicely made package. And if I look a little bit closer at the smartwatch, I think one interesting thing that I noticed is this magnetic latch mechanism from the wristband. That's kind of new. So let's get a little bit closer so that you can see a close-up shot. Actually, one of my viewers asked me in my last smartwatch review, please, where can I get different wristbands? So maybe it was a woman. She wanted to replace the wristbands, maybe to have a different style matching to the outfit. I'm not sure how well you can change the wristband on those. I suppose there's a small pin, but yeah, I think I have to contact the manufacturer. But let's quickly put it on. And as you can see, you can just slide it on. And then supposedly, I just grabbed this right here, put it into the perfect position, and then I just close this. So that's very convenient and nicely made. You can really adjust this real quickly. So kind of interesting. I've never seen that before with this magnetic latch, but it makes me all the more curious to test this smartwatch. Obviously, charging, they changed this also a little bit. Now you have this small charging, I'm not sure how you call this, cradle plate where you can put this on. So guys, without further ado, let's quickly charge this up. And then I'm going to show you the app and what you can change in the app. And then I'm going to test these for a couple of days. So maybe a week, go outside a little bit, check how well it measures the pulse, check how well it measures the walking distance. And then I'm going to give you in part 4 the summary and conclusion. So let's get rolling with the charging. Terrific. Then we jumped to part 2B, the charging part. And let me go a little bit closer here. You can think about how you want to charge this. Maybe you plug it into your computer. Maybe you have the phone charger from your smartphone handy. And I'm going to put this into this charging port right there. Works very well, actually, because it also has this magnetic latch mechanism. So let's switch on the power and show you a close-up shot. Let's see what we can see here. And the watch is charging, which should work fine. Let's touch this, see what happens. Yeah, let's have it charge up. And then next up, what I'm going to show you is also how to download the app. And especially interesting to see should be all these settings that you can pick, like the design of the clock face. That's always something I enjoy, customizing this, and that's going to be up in the next part. So let's jump to the app install. And terrific, guys, we now jump to part 2C, if I'm not mistaken, and we're going to download the smartwatch app with the help of the QR code. So let me quickly grab my cell phone. Like I told you, I'm going to test this with iOS, but it should work the same with Android. It has detected the app. And there you see it sends me straight to the App Store after scanning the QR code. And what I'm just going to do is I'm quickly downloading this, and then I'm going to show you the settings that you can pick. And after you have downloaded the app, obviously it asks you to if the app can use the Bluetooth, which you obviously have to allow so that we can pair both the smartphone and the watch, which we're going to do right now. And after downloading the app, we can just go ahead and quickly start it. It's going to ask you some basic questions about gender and age. And I think it's my understanding that based on gender and stuff, it's just generating different recommendations for the amount of steps that you should take. So let me quickly enter that. And to add the device, you just go to the main menu in the front, and then you just hit add, and it should search for a second. And here it detected the GOKOO Smartwatch, the CF86. That's the new model. Obviously, I told you it's available in different colors, and that's what we're going to pair. And it also asks you pairing request, and you hit pair. And if you want to use all the functions, make sure to allow the notifications. And guys, that's literally how easy it is to pair the smartwatch. I'm just going to go outside a little bit, test this for a couple of days. And obviously, if you want to pick some more aggressive goals, I think it's selected 8,000 steps as a default. You can bump up the difficulty level or down, and I'm just gonna leave it at that and just do some testing of the tracking function, and then I'm just gonna be right back in part 3. And now we jump to test part 3A, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test the GOKOO smartwatch and see how watertight it is. So I got this container right here. I'm gonna pour in some water, drop in the smartwatch, and then I'm really curious to see how the smartwatches perform in this water test. And as you can see, I put the smartwatch in the water, so it's not a lot, but let's see how it performs. I can pour a little bit on top additionally to see how to raise the water level a little bit. And as you can see, I let the smartwatch, GOKOO smartwatch, sit a little bit in the water. So let's pour a little bit on top, but I think it should be no problem for the smartwatch at all. And as you can see, the watch has soaked in the water for a while. So let me grab it and take it out carefully. And yeah, the watch still works perfectly fine. And what I also like is this new improved menu where you can slide through the different functions and control different features. So that's kind of nice. And yeah, let me just go outside, test the smartwatch for a little bit. Now I activated the test function accidentally. So it's a little bit tricky to do with one hand. But so far so good. Good first impression, good water test. So let's go do some tracking and then come back with the test results. So awesome, right now we jump to part 3C, and I'm quickly going to walk you through the tracking results of the app. I have used the smartwatch for a week right now, and I think I showed this maybe to you earlier. You can track the steps and the sleep and heart rate, and a bunch of other functions such as oxygen, saturation and such, but I want to focus on the first 3. And today I didn't walk that far, but during the week I did walk a little bit, and I think 10,000 steps for me, maybe that's 5 kilometers or something like this. So it's not super far, but you can scroll through the week and check when you walk the most. So that's kind of nice to see. You can track this there. That worked pretty well. Then the sleep function. Last night I didn't wear the watch to sleep. I'm not that much of a sleep tracking guy, but if you wear it to sleep, you have a really nice diagram. Only thing I would wish that you could see, that you could swipe through here and see the other days, but you have to go to week or month to see the results when you slept the most, and then you slide it right here at the bottom. And there, this day I slept very long, 9 hours. But I think at the end of the day, you lose this detailed view from the night before. That's a little bit sad. I didn't find where I can see that. And heart rate, I think heart rate tracking, they made big changes with this watch because the battery life, I can show this to you in a second. What I meant to say is that the battery life of the smartwatch is dramatically improved over the old model, or the old GOKOO Smartwatch model. And I contacted manufacturer because when I was first using the watch, I was wondering, did it measure the heart rate the same way? And I think what they did, they changed the measuring interval. So the heart rate is not monitored constantly throughout the day, but instead I think it's like a half-hour interval. It always takes a snapshot, and then you can later check this in the results. So that really prolonged the battery life, because I think I charged the smartwatch only once and used it during the week. So you have to do less charging, but on the flip side, the heart rate monitor is not as fine-grained as with the predecessor models. Watch faces, I felt like the previous GOKOO smartwatch had a little bit more choice. Maybe they can add a few more designs later on. That was a little bit disappointing, but then again, I like this wristband right here. The top one you can modify, and I think I'm just gonna stick with the standard design. So guys, this is the results of the tracking and the design. So let's jump to summary and conclusion. And that brings us directly to the summary and conclusion part. What do I think about this smartwatch? For whom could that be an option, and who choose a different option? Guys, I think this is a really budget-friendly smartwatch. I think a main benefit for that smartwatch is it has a longer battery life, it has this improved wristband, and it is affordable. That's the main point. Obviously, it's not like a super expensive Apple smartwatch for $600 with all the gimmicks, but what I disliked a little bit about it is that it didn't have that many designs. I personally preferred the old smartwatch, the clock faces from a design standpoint, but I like this for the longer battery life and wristband. And yeah, I mean, the longer battery life is, it seems to me, achieved through the intervals when it samples the heart rate frequency. It's not as frequent as with the old one. Personally, I think that's okay for most people. But if you're like a super sporty person and you're doing workouts all the time and you always want a constant tracking of your heart rate, then maybe the older model might be better for you, because it tracks the heart rate the intervals are shorter, and that again, that draws more power. Obviously, if you measure it more often, it will draw more power. So guys, this is my impression. I think the app, maybe they're going to continue to improve the app slightly. Maybe they could add some clock face. That would be my thoughts on that. Otherwise, a nice entry-level watch. It's a good price value, and it should appeal to a lot of people as a budget-friendly smartwatch. That's what I think. Guys, awesome for tuning in. Let me know in the comments below what other smartwatches you want to see, and I see you as a subscriber on my channel. Like I told you, on my channel page, let me show this to you here. There should be a playlist that's called something along the line of smartwatches, fitness trackers, or watches in general. Maybe I can also review some normal watches instead of just smartwatches and fitness trackers. That would be nice. And I see you as a subscriber in the next video. Have fun with your new watch. Take care. And because you just watched a review of the GOKOO smartwatch, you might also be interested in comparing them against other fitness trackers or other watches. So I'm going to create a playlist on my channel page where you're going to be able to compare different smartwatches and fitness trackers. And you can check that out on my channel page as well. Guys, awesome for tuning in. I wish you all the best, and I see you as a subscriber at the next video. Have fun with your new device. Take care.